What up, people out there, Facebook land? It's your boy John Dean. I was bragging and talking about this, the Tello. It finally came, folks, but it's broken. I'm disappointed also. You know, I sent it out. It took 30 days till my check came. I had to wait till my check come because, you know, I get a check and pay the $74. What had happened was I sent the drone because they sent the paid shipping from UPS, DJI Rides, out in California somewhere. I forgot what's the name of the place in California, but the DJI Rides, Tello headquarters. And I sent this. I didn't send the white piece. I didn't send the guards. I didn't send the propellers. And I did not send, I sent the drone and the battery. It didn't have all the other accessories because I wanted it fixed. And normally they ask you not to send everything when you send it. So I didn't send everything. Long story short, in 15 days, I sent them the money, PayPal. And it took a minute because they generated the free shipping, and the free shipping was sitting in the email, and then the free shipping was took back down by DJI Rides. I don't know why. And then I had to contact them. It took a week working with UPS and working with DJI Rides, and they finally put it back. I mean, I was talking back and forth with UPS, and they finally said that it was there, and then it was ungenerated, called them back, and then they would generate another one, and they generated it, and it came to me. And I held mine for a week or two. Just like I said, I had the packaging and everything. I got it. I was running around several problems. So I ship it out, it goes to DJI Rides get their money, and I see on the internet when you send it, they don't start repairing it until they get the money. So I got PayPal, I got a bank account, I run it through PayPal, I run my money to PayPal, PayPal pays DJI Rides start fixing. The problem with mine was this piece, as you look at it, as you look at the camera, the right engine facing you was broke due to a low-level flip that I had did, and it landed and crashed on his back. It also, underneath, you see the amber lights? These amber lights used to glow. They don't glow no more. So one was glowing partially, this one is not glowing, this one is mediocre, so it's a CPU problem. I told them that in the paper that it was turn on for 5 seconds to shut off after a crash, a low-level crash on a marble floor. So the way it crashed, it broke the propeller, it broke the engine, and it broke the CPU. Long story short, I paid for it. I'm expecting mine back. I was talking to Facebook. I'm on Facebook. I'm chatting. I'm telling people the DJI Rides is coming. I'm about to show off. I'm about to put something else together by either Adobe Clip or Power Director. I'm waiting. I'm fiending. I'm angry. Why did I buy it? I should have bought a Hubset H107C, a Hubset H107D. It got the same flight time, but it feels better when you can put the H107C 100 meters in the air. I mean, it looks this small, and I can still control it without FPV. So I'm really a professional at non-FPV drones. I love to cock my neck back like a cock-a-doodle-doo into the sky like that and look for mine. And I go by the numbers, I go by the lights underneath the Hubset, so I know where I'm going, especially at night. I can push that baby, I can push this to the top of the ceiling and actually get a broad look at wherever I'm at in the 5 boroughs. That's where I'm located. I'm located in New York City. This one comes, I bought this one because this drone, I like computers. I like bash shell salesman. I like blogger.com, where you could do HTML and you could do source element instead of composing a simple, because compose is for beginners, HTML is for those that know source element coding and CSS. So this right here is sort of like it. It does a certain kind of coding, which is Python. I used to do Python in school. They got the School of Coding, the New York School of Coding in New York. They got a training camp actually going on at the New York School of Coding, and you guys got to know this. I'm not promoting nothing. You know, you can go there if you like. It's $3,000, $6,000 for a 3-week course this summer, night or day. They call it summer camp, intensive training camps for coding, source element, whatever, Python, shell statements. I like O'Reilly books. O'Reilly books really clear on Pico satellites, drones, source element, everything. Go to O'Reilly.com, and your computer source is there, and they are very direct, Their authors and their publications are very direct. You can learn like a snap of a finger off of them. And I use another book for HTML coding. It's very simple, and I love playing with it. So when this came out, I was expecting to play with the coding element, which is Python, where you load blocks. It's simpler than source element code, but it's kind of tricky. It's simple, but it's kind of tricky, and I haven't gotten to do that yet. I dropped the Tello app. I dropped the Tello EDU app, and big ups to DJ Rise, Rise, and Tello. But you guys, man, I'm going to put a discrimination charge on you, because it's not just kids out there that deal with computers. I mean, we're promoting computers and we're making things, but as much as you say this is a user-friendly drone, it's a toy, it's a park flyer, it's a street flyer. You got a lot of adults that's a fan of drones and computers. Like I said, you got the School of Coding. There's all types of ages there. There's even 80 years old there. You know, they know what they're doing, and it's a fun process. Besides playing video games, it's a fun process. You can build video games, you can build websites, you can build all types of stuff. You can actually go to web pages where you manage Blogger, and you can do all kinds of fancy tricks, all kinds of fancy hacks. It works. It keeps you busy. It makes your brain open as to where you want to enter the industry with your own product, such as this. If you know how to, put a motherboard together, like, my name is John Dean. Mark Dean invented the ISA bus, which was actually, when you open your computer and you look at the back wall, where you put all the wires, it has slots where you can put, like, the graphics chips, but in the back. With the graphic chip go on top of, it's called the ISA bus. It's a port where you can put the motherboard into it, so you can add an extension for such things as memory, and adding other components like Ethernet components and other components to your hard drive of your desktop, not your laptop. I've never seen a laptop that has one of those, but they do. But they require micro boards that sit a certain way inside of the laptop. But we're talking about desktop. So Mark Dean came up with the 16-bit ISA bus, but eventually got 8 more bits, which made it 24. And then Compact Presario got down with IBM after Mark Dean developed that, and he tried to make it 64 bits. And instead of it being ISA/bus, it was called EISA bus, EISA. It was spelled a little different, but it's still a motherboard type of chip that goes in the bus to generate more memory. It shut up anyway? Oh, to generate more memory. Now, what that does in turn is it helps other components and graphics, and it stabilizes where your computer won't fail, and it gives a more sharper look with pixels and things. Compaq was so successful because, remember, Compaq introduced their component to IBM on top of Mark Dean's as an extension to the 24 to make a as an extension to the 2432 to make a 64-bit. So Compact Presario didn't succeed, so IBM made use of their invention and I guess added, and then it still made sense, but it still did not defeat what Mark Dean did for IBM. Mark Dean became the first black CEO for IBM. And you got these companies, they work together, and IBM and Apple are some of the biggest names out there in computers with Linux, because these are big programmers, these are military programmers, these are drone programmers, these are processors. Like, I think, truthfully, to be honest, I think the motherboard is cracked on this one. I don't know what they're going to do, but now I spoke to DJ Rise. I got angry like everybody else did. It took 2 months. I got my stuff back, and it's like it's sitting here, bro. It's like it's sitting here, and it's not doing nothing. And, I sent them $74. I paid $100 for this. Got a receipt. Went to Micro Center where it's popping, where everything is cheap, like B&H. They're from Texas. They just migrated to Brooklyn. Now they're in Yonkers, they're in White Plains, they're moving around, and it's getting big. And you can actually go online and find flat screen TVs and things like this, tablets, phone components, laptops, Chromebooks, book bags, other RC toys. You can find a lot of stuff that keep you busy when you're bored, because I hate a doomer, and I'm not a doomer, and I love music, and I love electronics, and I love video games, and if you can do all that, you can do this. And instead of reading books about who was the ex-mafia boss, even though those come into good handy, and I love history books, instead of reading books on mafioso things and other ill-fated things that's not really going to creating and developing your mind and probably portals in the country, such as computers, a contributor. I love to read good books. Computers for Dummies, Idiots Guides. I love to read history on computers, history on the revolution, when Martin Luther King, Malcolm X, Stokely Carmichael, Lyndon Johnson, Theodore Roosevelt, Nixon. These were the times when people were doing the revolution, but at the same time, people were not always at the revolution. They were at home working on stuff like this that the people brought to you. Chinese, black, white, all hands down, all hands on deck. It draws it. It comes up with the numbers. I like math. I like reading books that's educational, so that when I see something, I already know half the story. I know an eighth of the story. I know a quarter of the story. I know a half of the story. I know a whole story. I can move on with technology as the practice gets bigger. I love Darwin. Matter of fact, I can read Darwin and actually build one of these better than this. So besides this was a disappointment. Not only because DJI Rise and UPS and I had to get together just to get it shipped for a generated ticket, a free shipment, and then have it repaired and then sent back. A lot of fraudulency went down on YouTube, you know, concerning this. You had people who knew how, and I still say that I don't know how they did it. The other guy, he put something to put a GoPro camera on it, and he wasn't using 720 FPS or whatever they call it, a low stabilization camera that seems SD and not HD. We're gonna go along with DJI Rise and say, okay, DJI Rise and Tello, you got that. You gave us a 720 camera. Everybody was on YouTube lying, but I still bought it because it looks like a toy. The industrial plastic looks eye candy-ish. It comes out with a whole bunch of colors. They got the black carbon fiber body for the programmable one. This one came back broke. I haven't gotten to see if this one programs yet. You got the Iron Man one out with the red Iron Man. You got Spider-Man. You got Captain America. You got them giving all types of things. And like I said, it caters to the kids, but I'll keep mine in solid colors: white, blue, black, yellow, pink, whatever, orange, yellow. I'll deal with it. I love to test it out with my pockets. It's nothing free. And it's a disappointment. So my page isn't being done. My Facebook page, the group, the page I got Drone Age Kings. Big up the Drone Age Kings that just sent me a new charger that was hard to find. By Protensic. I also have the Protensic, besides this, I have the Protensic by UDI-RC, the U29. It was called the U28. It said the U29S. I love it. The U29S in comparison to this drone is amazing, the camera. But like this drone, you have to do a whole bunch of modifications, buy certain types of extendos by XVMar and by certain other people, Anabi, and just to get it to go far and not get it back because it has no GPS. They don't even try that, folks. UDI-RC had the U29 potential. It's an ugly motherfucking drone, but it's a sexy drone. They must have made it after a black person. A black person designed that. Or it's just so Singapore-ish. It's like going to Singapore and looking at the skyline, and it differs from yours if you have a skyline. But now we're talking about the difference in the drones. UDI U29 is a small selfie drone. It gets a height of about 30 meters, which this gets, but if you go into the menu, before you do the update, you don't really have to do the update, but you can do the update and you can still move the height of this up to 100 floor ceiling, meaning you can push it up to the sky like a Hudson H107C, but you got to be careful if you don't have the extender or you'll lose it. So, I'm running around here and I'm comparing Hubson's H107C. I want an H107D, because H107D is FPV, but remember the H107C is a non-FPV drone that I know how to master. It's a very fun drone. It's very light. It's lighter than this. The composite is almost flexible like this, but it will not crack. It's very durable, made by DuPont or maybe someone out there, somebody on the industry, new industrial person from Pratt Community College that just came up with something new. This drone right here, compared to Protenzic's UDIRC, is much more user-friendly due to the eye candy series of the plastic, the industrial plastic, versus UDIRC U29S. The U29S has better propellers. I'm gonna tell you, I'm big up the UDIRC Protensic on the propellers out there, because UDIRC has these propellers with no guard. So like when you fly it, even though I bought a UDIRC that had a problem when it lifts up, you have to fix the trim and the rudder, or else when it lifts up and it tends to not stabilize itself and it tends to move backwards. So I had to fix the trim. I had to come up with a whole bunch of things. I got to fly the UDIRC U29 a whole lot before it actually broke, and it didn't even break. I'm going to tell you a secret about UDIRC also. Everybody's making cheap components. I bought the UDIRC Protensic U29, and the charger comes like an 80s wire, some sort of, but with the USB head on one end, and then the Protensic drone piece on the other end. Protensic doesn't have this. They don't have a USB port where you can take a wire, such as a cell phone wire, which is this, being the male and the female, and we know what the male and the female ports be, and the drone doesn't have that on the side. You have to take the battery out, and you have to take the battery and slip it into the piece. It's like a three-way. It slips into a piece, it slips to the wire, it slips to the battery. Long story short, most wires catch you short. They wire caught it short in like 1 fucking week. Excuse my language. I have to beep that out. Theirs caught like short in 1 week, and I was totally upset. I went to UDIRC. I went to every avenue on the internet to find this hard-to-get charger for Protensic the U29S drone. And remember, this is the Tello, not the UDI. So I get the UDI drone. I'm flying. I made a couple of things. Long story short, the UDIRC camera is a bigger camera than this. And it has a little gimbal that goes up and down, so you can lift it. And it's much like the Hubsan H107C, even though it's FPV. And it's much like this. When you look at the FPV, it's not actually showing you where the drone is at. So you're going to have a complication if you put it up and you put it too far. It's not really relaying due to the Wi-Fi and the signal strength. So I'm wondering why, like, Tello and Hubsan and Parrot is the leading contenders next to Unique and GoPro, but I can tell you a lot about all of those drones. I mean, I could sit here all day and tell you about all of those drones, but I'm going to specifically talk about Protensic and this drone, and why Protensic films better than this. When you play with this on FPV, like when you play with UDI RC Protensic drone, and you got it on FPV, you got the app, you got the actual app, you got all of the secondary aftermarket apps that work for both drones. You get better features with some drones. I tend to stay with the ones that the company recommended. So I make no mistakes. Flying, I'm expecting the best performance out of the drone. So I put the Tello drone in, I put my drone in, I put it in the air, I'm in the streets. The drone, when I'm looking at my phone and I'm using the Motorola E5, I just graduated from the Motorola E4. I'm about to go to the Motorola E+, but now the Motorola 6 is here. I never knew the 6 was here. And now the 6 is being outdone by the Moto G7, which is $200, and I'm getting that. I'm a Motorola fan. Because Motorola is a powerful phone, and Motorola is making these batteries, like these lithium-ion hospital batteries that the laptops have. Like a lot of laptops have these new batteries, and then the way I buy things is I like to look at the spec sheets. Like I go to Amazon, and some people, they look at me and they're, oh, he's window shopping at Amazon. No, I have an account at Amazon. I have an account at eBay. I done sold drones, I done sold bulletproof vests, I done sold keys to Rolls Royces, I done sold skateboards to people who collect skateboards. I done sold shut skateboards, New York, never used, never had no grip tape on it, Barker Barrett. No graphics like that. I made $100. People know who I be. You know what I'm saying? Like I told people on Facebook, I'm John Dean from Kids 1995. Larry Clark, Harmon & Son. I know them. This is New York City. Big up to everybody out there. I got a lot of people from Kids, a lot of people from New York, a lot of people from NYC Skate on my list. Big up to Ryan. Big up to anybody out there. Big up to a lot of people out there. Once again, this is John Dean, your boy. Big up to Maurice. Big up to Jeff. Big up to everybody out there. Anyway, New York City in effect. Long live skateboarder. Big up Thrasher. Anybody out there. I'm into droning now. I'm 45 years old. I almost, ladies and gentlemen, now that I stated that, the same dude that I sold a skateboard to in Chicago, Illinois, untouched, shut skateboard, bought from the thrift shop. It was like, to him, it was like having a Tony Alva board, or like having like Mark Gonzalez, Gator, you know, a Sim skateboard. Till I went to his website, I got curious. The guy bought the skateboard off me for $100. He would have paid $300. And he got into talking, and now he wanted to know where I was from. I'm from New York City. He sees I'm from New York. And he wanted to know who I was, and I told him, like, I don't really show off. I never show off. I really don't even care. I told him who I was, and he actually wanted to buy the board and my autograph for $1,000. So what had happened is he bought the board, and he sent me an extra $100, long story short. He likes the movie. He likes me. I'm going to send him an autographed copy of the book, the picture I'm in. I have the blue shirt on. Kids in the park scene, Harold hunting, I'm fighting, and I jump in and I do the thing, quick thing, in and out. I'm an extra. It's famous in New York, blah, blah, blah. But like I said, I sell on every avenue. I can even sell this. But let's get back to UDRC. UDRC, I went on the internet. Just long story short, I want to take off what I was saying and go back, because this is the 30-minute segment that's going on YouTube. You're going to see it on YouTube, and I'm almost making a benchmark. At 30, it's at 21.35 right now, and I'm happy. Big up to AdSense. AdSense hit me, and I found out how YouTube is fully programmable, and how AdSense and YouTube is not a simple measure to do when you're putting it together to make money. You're getting money from AdSense to put commercials in between things that's 30-minute segments such as this. And I am your editor, John Dean, and I'm here, and you can see it's a beautiful day. It's a beautiful day for droning, and I'm fucking, excuse my language, I am heated right now. But big up to DJI Rise, Tello. With the UDI Potensic charger, which is much like this, but the other end, like this, goes to the battery and the other component. If you pull on it or stress it, it'll come right apart. It's made out of cheap plastic with copper wiring. That's copper wiring, and when you pull it, it comes right on out, and then you see the copper wire hanging and shredded, so you're like pissed off, like what is this? And you're like opening the piece, the head piece of the charger, and you're like trying to crazy glue instead of solder every wire back. It worked. It worked for 2 days, but it's 4 wires, so you got to find out where the 4 wires go to. So I did double wiring, and then I crazy glued it instead of soldered it back to the motherboard, and it generated power to the battery. But you got to understand, the current wasn't the exact directional current to where the wire was supposed to be linked to. I'm a small-time electrician too. Where I'm at, I'm in a displacement. I'm living basically here to there. So I couldn't have my soldering kit with me and sit with my magnifying glass and actually sit with a magnifying glass and clean all the soldering off and take the solder with some flux with the wire, flux it out, hit the hot comb, and nicely put it right back where it's supposed to be. Big up to Tello. I could have did that with this, but this has a CPU problem, Tello. It crashed, and it has a CPU problem, and you sent it back, and I'm mad. The amber lights don't come on. Only one amber light comes on. No, I'm not with YouTube. I see everybody doing over-the-water tricks. I'm not an over-the-water trickster, even though I'm a skateboarder, BMXer. No, Tello. And in fact, Tello, there was a time when I bought mine about a month ago, and in the park, there was a little bit of snow with ice. And I would love to tell this. The water was frozen, and it still don't hover over ice. And mud, it don't hover over mud, water, or ice. It actually, when it goes over the mud, water, and ice, it goes through a CPU, starts deliberating, trying to compromise where's the solid ground at, where's the water, where's solid ground, so it can communicate back to this. So this actually, under the bottom, those two dittos there, if you can see, Those two right there look like eyes. They light up red, like demon eyes. So they sense whatever they're over. So it gives a better stability to the drone, meaning the drone is stable. It won't drift or walk off without you unless you do headless mode, or unless you are on headless mode, or unless you have the trim and the rudder not adjusted right. Then it'll make a move without you actually using the flat screen or the controller. You got people trying all types of tricks after they bought this for $100. I don't think anybody got this for free, ladies and gentlemen. Don't try those tricks at home, because you're going to wind up doing like me and fetching a bill for $74 to have it fixed. And mine didn't break that way. Mine broke because the FPV is not coinciding with the 720 FPS lens. But like I said, when you go back to Potenzic UDIR-C, Potenzic U29S, this, you don't put a SD in. It goes straight to your phone. If your phone has an SD, so you capture everything straight into Drive, into vertical photo gallery, into whatever photo gallery you're using, iOS, whatever. I use Android. I love Android instead of my Motorola freak, because Motorola is making these 24-hour batteries now, and it's worth it. A $300 phone, and the battery lasts 24 hours. When you get the Potenzic U29S, there has a slot right here where the USB, micro USB goes in. So when you fly the drone, if you don't want to lose the chip and the drone, you get the drone back by flying responsibly. So I get my chip back, and I take the chip. Oh, you don't have to take the chip out. You can still take the chip, don't take the chip out, and go to your phone and see what you flew. It has a gallery for the app built in, so you don't have to take the chip out after you format the chip to the drone. When you format the chip to the drone and you try to send it to a tablet or a cell phone, you really have to watch what you're doing, because the phone may not read the chip and ask you to format it again. When you format it again, you're erasing the microchip. You're not going to have any footage. So what you need to do is you need to go into the gallery of the drone. Every drone has a gallery, or download at the Google App Store a gallery where you can retrieve the videos and the photos. The most beautiful thing I've ever played with the Hudson H107C. When I get my H107C back, the world just melts in my hand with this microchip, because I take the microchip out, because they don't have an app for the H107C. You have to take the microchip out, put it in a card reader, and run it through a laptop or a desktop. When you do that, you get beautiful results. And when you use the H107C, and you format it, and then you switch it over to like a tablet or your phone, but eject before you pull it out, or that'll make your phone not be capable of reading your SD. So you always eject before you remove your chip, like removing a removing a USB from a laptop or a desktop. It really matters, folks, before you lose your intel. Now, back to what I was saying. I get back the footage from the H107C, and it's extraordinary. It's beautiful. I mean, I send this thing to Mars, and it comes back with beautiful results. The gimbal is fixed like this one. It don't move upside and down. It's there. It's embedded. So when a drone comes back after 100 meters ceiling, it's way in the sky. It looks almost like this small. I love doing it at night because the lights in the back are blue and it's red, and the front is blue, and I can really manage, and I'm super managed. And in the daytime, I can do the same thing without the lights. You just have to know what you're doing, and like I said, be a responsible flyer and not try to go out of your distance without knowing the direction that the drone is going into, because this is very tricky. And this goes back out to all those computer programmers that was using desktops and had the software for turbine RC, big RC, way bigger than this, jet turbines, propeller turbines. You go to different RC outlets out there. I like Tower Hobby, that's where I started out. And I like Hobby Horizon. I love them. I can't wait to get out of this disposition to buy something that I see up there that I hope is still there. If I have to, I'm going to buy storage, and I'm going to send you guys that $300, and I'm going to pull off a Parrot Disco, I'm going to pull off a Bebop 2, and I'm going to pull off the Convergence. I love that one. I love that one, guys. And I think that one's going to be up the market. It's going to be a has-been if I don't get to it in at least 3 months. I got to get to that one. I got to fly that one this summer. Parrot, I'm coming. Hudson, I'm staying in Hudson's 107C. I'm just amazed at what they do. I think that belongs to me. And I'm buying another one. But anyway, back to what I was saying. When you get the footage back from a Potensic U29, it's beautiful. And when you get it back from the H107C, it's beautiful. So when you get the footage and you go on like this in the air, this one will come back choppy and sloppy. H107C will come back a little choppy. When you, it's so, no, it won't come back choppy. It's accurate. So when you go like this and it's spinning in the air, looking like it's going like this, it actually looks like it's going like this a little bit. With no glitch whatsoever in it. When you get the Potensic U29 by UD, and I made my 30-minute threshold, folks. I'm headed towards AdSense again. We're making money. When you get the Potensic and you get the footage back, and you look at the movement of when you went like this and this, it's so beautiful, folks. It's like the H107C by Hudson. This is garbage. This is the SD camera that they replaced a long time ago with HD. Got a couple of SDs laying around. Tello went to DJI Rise, like how I went to Propeller RC, another drone company, which was recruiting guys like me and you and girls out there of all ages, like UAS.com, where you get the rules and when you get hired by drone companies to do things and get paid, but it's a process. They were talking about replacement cameras and why they went HD because of choppy footage. Choppy footage, folks. Choppy footage, folks. So what I took a stride is, in the menu, it has a whole bunch of options. We could do trick flips, throw it out your hand like Parrot. Parrot started that. We could just throw your Parrot across the air and it turn on. Throw it off the roof and it turn right on. It has that power and ability. This has that also. But with this, they didn't have a big budget. Maybe the IT gimbal, the shareholders, they didn't put a lot of money on the market. They took what they could. Rise put it together, made a beautiful, pretty, eye candy drone with no real camera to it. SD, I feel like I did that. I did my homework up at YouTube and did the knowledge on